As we were preparing to leave the ledge, instead of going down the stairs as we had anticipated, we walked to the brink. No sooner had we reached the edge than we were all in the garden of the lodge. Not one of our party was conscious of what had taken place. We were not cognizant of going through the air or any movement at all. By this time, we were so accustomed to surprises that we simply accepted the situation. From the garden, we walked to the village and found that all was in readiness for an early start, and that a number of the villagers had left to break trail through the snow that still blanketed the mountain pass to a depth of 10 or 12 feet. The pass was about 50 miles from the village at an elevation of 12,000 feet above sea level. A large portion of the country is rugged and very difficult to travel over. It is custom to pack the trail through the snow the day previous to its use so that the packed snow will freeze, thus supporting men and animals. We arose long before dawn to find that every detail had been attended to. Jast and the Muni were to accompany us. The entire village had assembled to bid us Godspeed. We all regretted the necessity of leaving this village where we had spent 2 winters. We had formed a deep attachment for every one of the people there and knew that this feeling was reciprocated. They were simple, kindly folks. In order to show their appreciation, many went with us 5 or 6 miles. We exchanged our last farewells and were again on our way to India. Before we were actually to look down upon the southern slopes of the Himalayas, months would have elapsed. As we walked along with the main body of the caravan, we became conscious that we were walking without effort. At times, we seemed to see a point on the trail ahead of us, like a vision. The instant the point became definite, we were there, sometimes miles ahead of the main caravan. At the noon hour, we found fires going and a meal prepared by 3 of the villagers who had stopped for this purpose. After lunch, they returned to the village. We were told that the others had preceded us so that the trail through the snow over the summit would be easy to walk upon. Our camp was also ready for occupancy. All was prepared for us until we had crossed the pass and came down into the valley of Nuchu River. There we overtook the advance party of villagers. They had gone all this trouble in order that we might be assured safe conduct through the rugged mountainous country. They left us here, as travel was easy through the valley. I am purposely introducing this brief description to show, in a general way, the hospitality of these simple, kindly people throughout the whole trip to Lhasa. Seldom do we meet the cruel, austere native of Tibet that so many travellers love to write about. We followed down the valley of the Nuchu, then up a tributary of that stream, to the great Tonjnor Jung Pass, thence down the tributary of the Tsanpu or Brahmaputra to Lhasa, where a welcome awaited us. When we came within sight of the city, we felt we were nearing a Taoist pueblo. One could imagine oneself standing before such a pueblo as we looked around on all sides. The palace of the great Dalai Lama, or overlord of all Tibet, stands out as the one great jewel of the whole city. While the city is the temporal head of Tibet, the deeper spiritual head is the living Buddha.